Hi, this is Kelly Parsell. I'm from the class of 2014.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Today's conversation with Kelly is brought to us in part through the ongoing support of 2008 graduate Matt Cox and his company Saucetown Properties. If you or anyone you know have a house you want to sell, or you're just looking to dip your toes into investing and understanding the world of real estate, check out the Saucetown Investor blog and podcast to hear directly from Matt and his team. You can also go to saucetownproperties.net to get more information today. And today we are joined by 2014 graduate Kelly Burdick Parsell. Kelly's years at South were full of her involvement in our leadership and DECA programs, as well as our volleyball and softball teams, the latter in which she and her teammates won the 2014 Oregon State Softball Championships. Her best memories were of her time on those sunny afternoons at practices, getting rowdy in the crowd at our basketball games, and being in classes with all of her friends. After graduating South, Kelly went on to play softball at the University of Washington, where she earned all Pac-12 honors and all academic honors. She and her teammates played in the College World Series twice, and they placed second in the 2018 College World Series, which I'm sure we'll get into here in a bit. Kelly then earned her master's in teaching from Pacific University, and she now teaches special education at McNary High School, where she leads the Unified program. She and her husband, Nick, a teacher here at South, shout out Nick, are raising an adorable 2-year-old girl, and she's made time in her busy schedule to share a bit about her life and her journey with us today. Kelly, welcome to your time in the spotlight. We are so grateful for you. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me, Ryan. I'm excited to be here, excited to have a little bit of South Salem in my life again.
Good. We are so glad to hear that. What's everyday life like for you at McNary?
Busy, super busy, but a lot of fun. I have a really fun class of students, and I love my involvement in Unified, and I get a little bit of everything with teaching and leading and being a part of Unified track this season, but we've got a lot going on all throughout the year.
Yeah, I would imagine that that keeps you really busy on top of all the other things. What was it that drew you into special education? What was it about that occupation that spoke to your heart?
I had some family ties growing up, and so that was always in the back of my mind. Wanted to go into nursing. I kind of always enjoyed being around people and caring for people, but definitely had a passion for uh, children. And so thought at first elementary, and then I was in a middle school, and then I got a job at a high school, and I can't imagine being anywhere else.
How long have you been at McNary now?
This is my seventh year.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that. We'll get into the Unified here in a bit too, but maybe let's start back in the South Salem days. Share more about your memories, who you connected with, what were your favorite classes, anything that comes to mind.
Yeah, I've been racking my mind. I think I have a poor memory, to be honest. But when I think about South, sports really just takes over all of my memories, sports and my friendships. I know I always loved going to school as a teacher. Sorry, all my teachers, but classes are not what sticks in my brain. It really is the relationships that I had. And then going to practice every day after, I just loved it. I loved the sports environment. I think South is just such a big family feel, and that's all that my brain and my body remembers.
Yeah, family is something that we refer to now as staff, and also is something that continues to come up in the interviews that I do. What is it that a school does like South to create that family feel, to create that culture?
It's a great question. I don't know exactly what they do, but I felt so bought in, and even just stepping into the gym after I graduated, it feels like home. And I just always felt taken care of by so many different people. I think the teachers were always like my advocates and supported me even on the field. And obviously my coaches were too, but it felt like, everyone knew everyone and supported everyone. I don't know. Maybe it's just a special place. It's just all I know.
Fair. It is a special place in so many ways. What was it about that, especially your 2014 graduating year? You've got a stellar team on the softball field. What was it about that team that propelled you into a space where a state championship became a reality?
It's it's funny because my 4 years in softball at South, we were always very dominant. We made it to the state finals a couple times,
Yep.
and, different years felt like we were the best at different things. And I wouldn't say that my senior year, we had the lineup that would, like, knock everyone else out of the water. But I think that the way that we worked together as a team and didn't put one person above the other person, we really, again, back to that family vibe. Like, I think we just all really got along and enjoyed being together. And in my experience as playing for as many years as I did and then coaching afterwards, those are the best and most successful teams by far.
Yeah. And you go on to have some success at UW. What were your 4 years like at college?
They were awesome. I think about them often. It was so much fun. There's nothing like it. I mean, high school sports is a lot of fun because you get to practice every day, but college sports, you are with your people every moment of every day, and you're just going through something that no one else around you is going through, and to do it together really builds that bond. I had an incredible class with me, and they're my best friends. Even now, we're spread across the country and some across the world, and we'll always hold on to that bond together. So, ups and downs through it all, but it's it's just one of the most special things that I could imagine going through my life.
Yeah, and being an elite player at the level that you were, I have to imagine. I mean, that's college sports is a business. That's what we hear. What was it for you that helped anchor you into a place where you could get through with those grueling hours, those grueling workouts, navigating academic load that a UW, a school like UW, would require of you? How'd you find yourself, kind of that mental sports psychology side of things? Any experiences there?
I'm a pretty faith-based person, and that was definitely something that I leaned on through my 4 years. We had, a team-led Bible study and a couple really big time leaders. I'll shout out Ali Aguilar, who did an amazing job. She's an incredible player, but she really brought together people in a very natural way. And that was something that I definitely leaned on. And I think that finding a community outside of your sport, it's so easy to find your identity in your sport, and knowing that, how you play is not who you are. Being able to find yourself outside of that and know that, you know, we're all here for what feels like one reason, and to play and to win, but that there's so much more outside of that was really, really important for me to do. And in my 4 years, I could feel the change in my heart of where I put my identity in and where I put a lot of weight on myself. And by my senior year, I was playing the most free softball that I've played. And I get a little emotional thinking about it because it
Yeah.
was really special for me to be able to play like I was a little kid again, that kind of joy.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about that transformation you just mentioned through those 4 years and identifying who you are, and what your identity is rooted in. I'm curious for you. Not all of us are going to be collegiate athletes. Not all of us even play a sport. But is there something that translates that happened in those 4 years, especially that led you into a place of that confidence and that kind of that freedom, the security of the freedom that was coming?
Yeah, I think softball is such a failure based sport, unfortunately.
Yes.
But you can find that in all of life, especially whatever mindset you have, and what kind of lens you're looking through that day. It's really easy to strike out and think, "Oh, I'm not going to play again. I lost my chance. I can't do anything here. I might as well just like take my mind off of it and sit and do something else or whatever
Yeah.
it is." And so, and I think, people can draw parallels to that in different ways. But for me, what changed is thinking, "Oh, I struck out. Okay, I might not play again, but I'm still here. How can I like give myself and find purpose in the other ways that I can support a team?" And I think that is a big piece in life, knowing that, there's more than one way to contribute to our community, to people around us, and that every role that we play in our lives is really valuable. And also that helps us see that every role that other people play in our lives is really valuable. And I think that was an important lesson for me to learn. When you get to college, if you play to that level of a sport, you may you may come from always, being top dog on your team, and then you're around a group of 20 people who were top dogs on their team, and you get humbled a little bit. And there's a lot of emotions and feelings and thoughts that go through your head there. And so again, finding a way to help you understand that those aren't the things that matter. Your stats aren't the things that matter. Your performance isn't the things that matter. And how you can, still contribute and find joy in other pieces of the sport and of life.
Yeah, it's a great message and one that I feel like connects to so many of our students here, so many of even our faculty, our community, Saxon community for sure. I'm connecting to it on a deeper level because I've got a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old, but a 12-year-old that is starting to play that competitive softball right now. And she told me to ask you, I've got a quote hanging in my office right now, right next to me. It's Bob Goff, an author that I love. And the quote is just memorize grace. That's it. Memorize grace. And it's a
Yeah.
reminder as much to myself as it is to anyone who enters my office. But I'm curious for you, what does that term like memorize grace? What does that mean to you?
Yeah. I think giving grace to yourself is one of my biggest um values. It's so easy to be hard on yourself and to knock I think especially, I don't know how it is for men, but I think especially for women, we are our hardest critiques. And I know that my husband would probably agree with this. For myself, I'm the first person to knock myself down, and psychologists, I'm sure, can dive into that and say why. I think I do it before anyone else has the chance.
Uh,
But, to give yourself grace and know, like, I'm working through a lot, or whatever it is, you can always work around it. But um, I think it's so important to go easy on ourselves, and um, in that same mindset, give everyone around us grace, and that gives me a lot of peace. Giving people the benefit of the doubt, knowing that everyone's working through things and they're doing the best that they can, and that's been something that's really been important to me as a working adult,
right.
working around other adults. We have all got different things going on, and knowing we're here, we're showing up, we're doing the best that we can, and we're all coming from different mindsets and backgrounds and all of those things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so you graduate from UW, you get your master's, you go and get a job. What have those years as a working adult been like for you?
They've been fun. It's been in education. It's funny, I start teaching at a high school when I'm 23, and I don't feel very separated from the high schoolers in a sense. So trying to separate myself and feel older, and in the world of special education, I'm managing staff who are the age of my parents and have so much more experience in the job as parents. That was strange, and that I really had to dive into the leadership experience that Coach Tar at UW helped instill in me, and kind of find my confidence in different ways. And then, to now I'm 30, and I'm managing staff who are younger than me, but I still feel younger than them. Like it's a weird time now, but I have definitely utilized a lot of the life skills that I got through sport, but especially in college. A lot of those skills I think about now.
And you were coaching softball at one point. In fact, you earned a Coach of the Year award as well. No longer coaching, is that right?
Yeah.
Softball itself, coaching in other ways. What was it that drew you into softball, but that allowed you to then step away?
Yeah, I went right into coaching. I was an assistant coach here under Kevin Wise, and that was so much fun, and navigated through COVID, and then it kind of naturally happened where I took over as head coach. And that was another time of like I had to battle my own confidence of am I qualified to do this? Everyone else is so much older, and it was so much fun, and I really enjoy being a leader and leading groups of people. But then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I've as you get older, you kind of realize that there's seasons of life, and life is longer than a 4-year period of high school and then college. And so, I definitely think that I will be back in the coaching world one day, but for now I'm going home after work and enjoying the time with my child.
Yeah, and a 2-year-old little girl. How is it finding yourself as a mom to her?
Another new challenge for sure. It's been so much fun. I've always seen myself as loving motherhood, and it's been a fun journey. It's really cool navigating it with Nick and seeing ourselves grow, and she is just really adorable.
Mm.
She's got an attitude right now. She just turned 2. So again, figuring out how do I handle this? This is different, but she's so cute that it makes up for anything that gets on my nerves.
Remind me her name.
Her name's Ada, Ada Lane,
Ada.
after my dad.
Beautiful, beautiful. Give us a story about Nick. What can you share about Nick?
What can I not share about Nick?
Mm.
Yeah, gosh, there's so much. I will say, for those who don't know, Nick is a past Olympian. He went to Sprague. Not only is he a past Olympian, but he's also a Duck.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
same.
you know Salem, it's South and Sprague, and then if you know college, it's UW and Oregon.
Yep.
And that's what's been so cool about Nick is he, as diehard of a Duck fan that he has no problems wearing purple for me. And that was my first sign of he is a
Yeah.
good man.
Mm. Mm.
And now he's at South, so
Yep.
I've really pulled him over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Well,
what?
we love him here too, and glad he's one of a few of us that were Olympians and now are much deeper rooted in the Saxon community. So yeah, we love him here too. That brings us perfectly to our big 3 questions, and these ones are brought to us as always by the Saxon Success Fund. The Saxon Success Fund is a nonprofit organization that raises money to invest in our school and our students through capital improvement projects and college scholarships, all with the goal and purpose to transform South High from one of the best in the state to one of the best in the nation. All thanks again to our many alumni and community supporters. If any of our listeners would like to get involved, they can go to saxonsuccessfund.org for more information. So Kelly, I know you've mentioned a few, but knowing where you are today, all that you're up to, in fact, I want to get to the unified piece as well. What or who helped get you to this part?
Definitely my family. I have a really strong community from my immediate family, my parents and my brothers and my little sister, but I have an incredible support group from my further away family in California, and they've always been cheering me on and rooting me on, and I've felt love from a lot of people in my life in a similar way. Since I got to college and I realized what coaches can be, I've reflected a lot on how lucky I've been with the coaches that have been in my life. And every single coach that I can name throughout my time through softball and then in volleyball, everyone has had a pretty profound impact on me. And I could name them all and talk about how much I love them and how loved and respected I've always felt from them. I was never afraid of any of my coaches and always felt safe and loved by them. And I think that has probably been the number one reason that I love playing sports so much.
Yeah, that's great. Question 2, what's one piece of advice you would give your high school version of yourself?
Definitely to enjoy being a kid. You don't get to be a kid for very long, and it's easy to dream yourself out of it and to think about all of the independence and the, cool things that can come with being an adult. But high schools, it can be a really fun time. It can be a really hard time, but, to live into it and find the joy in having other people there all the time to support you and help you through those times. I would never wish for anyone to rush through it.
Yeah, that's a powerful message. Seriously. Question 3, if you could transform South Salem High School, the version you remember it being, or just public education in general, what would you change, add, adjust?
It's a really great question. And I'm not one to like to offer up like suggestions that don't have anything behind them.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing when I first came to McNary, we talked a lot about kids being involved in one sport club activity. And I think that finding your community outside of, just your day-to-day classes is so important. And looking back, again, the thing that I remember most is sports. And I know for other people, it might be a club that they were involved with, or band or choir. And, for my middle school, it was band. That was huge for me. I loved it so much, and it made my time there so special. The more that we can encourage kids to join some kind of thing outside of their daily schedule, but more importantly for us on the education side, the more accessible that we can make those things, especially with the change in all of our populations throughout the time here in Salem Kaiser, I think that that is going to really make a big impact on, all of our mental health.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like Unified for us at South, is something that has been that place where we've had students with and without disabilities come in and connect, and really how that's transformed our community in such incredible ways, impactful ways. When did Unified become that for you? Talk about Unified at McNary.
I love Unified. It's the best part of my day. It's the best part of my weekends when we have events.
Yes.
And I love South Unified. I'm
Yeah.
like the biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
I really look up to you guys. Um, Unified started my first year teaching here at McNary, but my first year teaching was 2019 going into 2020 COVID. So, we had some down things, but it really, once we got back into the building, really boomed from there. And, when you get teachers on board, you get more unified classes and more brains into it and more students who want classes. And, now we have 2 different PE classes between 50 and 70 kids in each. We have a ton of partners who want to participate, and we won the Ole Cup 2 out of the last 3 years. Shout out to our Ole Cup teams.
Yes.
Yeah, Unified has changed definitely the culture at McNary, but from my lens as a sped teacher, it has made such an incredible difference in my job. The weight that it takes off of my shoulders and my team's shoulders just day to day in trying to make sure that our students are included and finding them classes that they enjoy can be really hard. Getting them out of my classroom when they don't want to hear me talk and try to teach them 8 different subjects all day. That's no fun for anybody. So making the school just a better place for them, but also for all of the other students in the school. Like, it just makes so much sense to my brain. Like, yeah, let's make some classes that everyone will enjoy, everyone can get something out of, and teachers like to be a part of. Why not?
Right, right. And that's the power we've seen too. It seems like such an obvious, especially on this end of things, of like, why weren't we doing this? And there's still so much growth opportunity for us as a school, but in our community and Salem Kaiser Public Schools across our state as well. And so thank you for being a leader in that space. It is so crucial, so vital, and it's been really neat to see on our end. And you are someone that is respected. Your name comes up as we talk about Unified across our district. So keep up the great work there.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's end with some rapid fire questions. These ones are brought to us by another Saxon alum, Dr. Corey Bickler at Bickler Dentistry, where your experience is comfortable, it's personalized, and it's stress-free. Whether you need a routine cleaning or advanced restorative treatment, the team at Bickler uses the latest technology to keep your smile healthy and confident. Kelly, what's your favorite TV show or movie?
TV show, Friends. Movie, Princess Bride.
There we go. Favorite class in high school or college?
High school, I loved my chemistry class for both years, and college, probably any of my early childhood classes.
Those two, going through them with the counseling side of things. And yeah, just it's oh my gosh, that's why that happens. Oh my goodness, what? That's so, it just
I think
explains
about
so
it
much.
all the time now.
Right?
As
I know.
a parent and
As a
teacher.
parent, especially. Yes. I'm like,
Yeah.
yep, there it is. That's the developmental stage we're in right now. So yeah, that's great. Favorite spot to eat in Salem?
Cozy Taberna.
Oh my gosh.
I love
yes.
the Cedar Plank salmon so much.
Yes. 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 They've got amazing bacon Brussels sprouts too. Yeah.
So good.
So good. So
Mhm.
good. Let's see. Favorite place you've traveled?
This is a hard one for me. I've seen a lot of places for softball. I went to Puerto Vallarta one year with my team, and the reason I love traveling there was because we went to an elementary school and put on a little clinic, and that was a really special thing to experience as a college student. But I am going to the East Coast. I'm going to New York and Boston with Nick and our daughter, and I think that will take the cake here.
It'll be the topper.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory from Oklahoma City and the trips
I
there?
thought about saying my favorite place to
Yeah.
travel was Oklahoma City, but I'm like,
No, it was great.
Oklahoma City.
Yes, yes.
But in terms of softball, yeah, absolutely I do. You mentioned earlier that we got second place, unfortunately, but that moment actually brought me my most special moment in all of my sports memories, and it's when we're in the second game. It's probably the last inning that we're out on defense, and I'm in center field, and there's a giant crowd all around us. It's a
Yes.
beautiful day, and as a senior, when some people don't know it's their last game when they play their last game. You don't know that you've lost, and so I knew we were about to lose, unfortunately. And so I got to sit there with my best friend in left field next to me and just like reflect on what an amazing opportunity everything has been for me. And I can like transport myself into that memory all of the time. And I'm really grateful that, I honestly had God with me making that experience and such a positive thing, and something that, maybe wasn't so positive for a lot of people. But I'm really thankful that I got to have those feelings with me and just feel grateful for the moment.
Yeah, yeah, such an electric atmosphere too, and to be able to soak that in a way that honors your amazing career and journey on the softball field in a moment that, yeah, it can cause so many, whether it's at the highest level like the World Series or even their last day at on a high school team or a rec team, that so many there's a true grief and loss process that they go through,
Yeah.
and those moments are the ones that can help us go enter into a space of gratitude. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it for you in that
Yeah.
moment. I see you in that. It was
Yeah.
powerful. So
Yeah.
that's really great. Kelly, who else do you want to shout out today?
I got to shout out Katie Donovan. I don't know. Have you gotten to talk to her?
No, not yet. I know. I know.
I played with her when I was probably 12, and she was probably the size she is now, and I was not. And so I've always looked up to her, quite literally, but in so many ways, I've always looked up to her, even though we're the same age and, went through softball together. But she's an incredible person, an incredible athlete, and living a really beautiful life now. And her softball journey is really special to follow. And, she played after college, and now she's serving in different ways. And I'll always love her. And I think that anyone who can hear from her
Yeah.
can learn a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's the next question is who else should we interview? Who else should we spotlight?
Yeah, it should be her.
Yep.
She's wonderful.
Well, thank you, Kelly, so much for being someone that we can spotlight and we can point to, especially our students, whether they're athletes, whether they're interested in being teachers one day, just that you have lived a life and continue to live a life worthy of pointing to and saying, hey, look at someone who's doing it at an exceptional level at a way that's filled with grace and service and freedom, and doing it as you juggle all the other things, being a mom and the lessons you're given, unified, the commitments that brings in. Thank you for being that person for our Saxon community.
Thanks, Ryan. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this.
That's it for our conversation with Kelly. Kelly, thank you so much for being someone that we can celebrate and honor and highlight. Thank you so much for joining us and giving a little bit of your time in such a busy schedule. And thanks to Nick for convincing you to jump in. Thank you, as always, to Matt Cox at Saucetown Properties, Dr. Corey Bickler at Bickler Dentistry, and to everyone at the Saxon Success Fund for the ways that they support our students and support these spotlights. We appreciate you for tuning in. Have a great week. Go Saxons.